So what do we got here?
This is a ukulele banjo.
Do you know anything about it?
It's from my grandfather, and he claims it was from Hawaii. He liked Hawaiian music, and Hawaiian girls, for that matter.
Well, who doesn't?
This ukulele belonged to my grandfather. He passed away, and my grandmother gave it to us, and my wife and I, we're not musical people. I have no musical abilities at all, and so I figured, it has no sentimental value to me, so it'd be nice to just get some money for it.
I know a lot about guitars, and I have never seen one of these. It's a ukulele style, but it's a Gibson, so it's not from Hawaii.
Do you know where it would be from?
Kalamazoo, Michigan.
That's a long way from Hawaii, isn't it? It is from the early 1900s. They have signatures on there from 1925.
This is really neat. I mean, it looks like, I don't know, he played places and people just signed it for him.
A lot of people signed it, too.
I got to admit, I'm intrigued. It's extremely rare to come across a banjo ukulele, much less one made by Gibson. And you throw in the signatures from the 1920s, you got a piece with some very interesting history. So you want to pawn it or sell it?
I'd like to sell it.
Okay. What do you want for it?
I would go for about 500. That's what
Dollars?
Hopefully.
I mean, it's super cool. I mean, I really, really like the thing. It's intriguing. It's neat. The problem is, I don't know a lot about it. So that's why you're going to get 200 bucks. 200 bucks.
I just hope I don't go home and find out this thing was worth $10,000,
I hope you do. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, though. But I do know it's going to cost me 100 or 200 bucks to fix it up. The plywood lamination's coming apart. It's split right there, and the split keeps on going around. 200 bucks.
Yeah, sounds about right. All right.
Okay. All right, let's go do some paperwork.
All right. It wasn't what I wanted, but it's pretty good, and I could use the money to buy an MP3 player and, download a lot of songs on it. No ukulele music, but certainly have some fun.
This is what I called you about.
Yeah, this is awesome. I work at Cowtown Guitars here in Las Vegas. Anytime the guys have any kind of questions about musical instruments, they give me a call. Back in the 20s and 30s, these were really popular because of Hawaiian music. Looks like most of the hardware and everything's original on it. Calfskin head. And it's really neat with all these signatures and stuff on it.
So do you think it would be worth it getting the thing fixed up or just sell it like it is?
No, it's worth getting fixed up. There's a couple little splits here. Get all that cleaned up, all the hardware cleaned up. Probably get this straightened out, a couple $100, make it look like new.
Okay. I'm excited to get the thing restored, but what I'm really looking forward to is hear this thing played. That thing is definitely going to sound nice. Hey, Jesse, how's it going?
Hey, man, how you doing?
Oh, pretty good, man.
Pretty good.
Got that ukulele for me?
Yeah, actually I do. We finished it up just the other night.
Oh, this thing is great, man. You were able to keep the skin?
Yeah, kept that on there.
Bitchin', man. So what all did you do to it?
First thing we had to do, we had to make a bridge out of a regular banjo bridge because finding a bridge for a ukulele banjo is not all that easy.
Okay.
Then we fixed all those splits and this little piece of plywood on the back of it that was delaminating.
Okay.
Remember all the cracks that were on the side of it where it was pulling apart from itself?
Yeah.
We fixed all those. We had to humidify it to get everything to swell back up so you could actually get a syringe in there to inject some glue. Clamped it all back down, made a new bone nut for it.
Okay, because you couldn't find one of those either?
No, I couldn't find one of those either. We leveled all the frets, polished them all up, restrung it, tuned it up.
Okay.
It actually came out really good.
So what's the damage?
200 bucks.
All right. So what do you think I can get out of it now?
You can probably get $1,000 out of it.
Okay. Jesse did a great job with this thing. It's real important when you're refinishing an old instrument like this is not to damage the wood. You don't want it to lose its character. You just want to clean it up and protect it. You want it to be playable. He did an amazing job, and I can probably make 600 bucks on it. So can you play this thing?
Yeah, I think I know 2 chords.
Let's hear it.
All right. Here you go.
Jesse, great expert on guitars, not a great ukulele player.
Nope.
You need to stick to guitars.
What do we got?
I got this old Black & Decker drill.
Do you know when it was made?
It was made in 1926.
That's pretty cool. Really interesting company. They invented this style of drill, which is pretty much the basis for every drill that came along after that. Now I think if you showed up on a job site with this, you'd get laughed at and sent home.
I got this drill when I used to work for Black & Decker in Spain. It's in working condition. It's very rare to find one of those. I used to collect antiques, and I kept it for a long time.
These things are really cool. Black & Decker, a really interesting story. Two guys here in the States had a small machine shop together. I think they started making hand tools, and they came up with the idea for the first pistol grip electric drill. They were actually able to get the patent for the handle and the trigger mechanism to make it work. And people do collect stuff like this.
Yeah.
Black & Decker has been around for over a century. Not only have they invented some of the world's most used power tools, but they also made probably the most recognized handheld vacuum on the planet, the Dustbuster. I just hope its asking price doesn't suck.
How much are you looking to get out of it?
850, that's what I'm asking for.
150 or 850?
850.
850?
850. It's a very unique piece that it's very difficult to get it, and in working condition.
That number's just so high. I could give you $100 for it. Really, I can get online and buy them all day long.
No, I wouldn't sell it for $100.
Are you willing to come off that at all, or?
What about $500?
I couldn't pay $500. I really couldn't. I'll go 150. That's the best I can do.
I don't sell it for 150.
All right, well, I appreciate you coming down, man.
Okay.
Change
Thank
your
you
mind,
very
I'm here,
much.
okay?
Thank you. You know, $100 is what it takes to fill my gas tank. So, you know, I knew that he was going to take the price down. Not expected to be that down, but, you know, I'm not going to give it away for $100.
Hey, what do we got here?
We have a 1920s Radium Crock.
Okay.
Back in the 1920s, they would put radium in this with water, and it has a little centrifuge that would spin around. You turn this and turn it on.
And then you just made yourself a delicious radium cocktail.
I got the crock from a friend of mine. It's a really interesting piece and hoping to be able to sell it. I want to sell the crock for $900. It was thought to cure cancer, high blood pressure, and even thought to increase the sex libido.
This is really interesting. Radium releases alpha particles, which are really, really super dangerous, but it's hard for them to penetrate things. They're not like X-rays. So some of these things, probably no radium ever got in the water because it got absorbed by the metal. And then there was other ones where you could buy packets of radium and just pour it in the water, which was just like, oh my God, I don't see how you didn't die from the first drink.
Right.
But by the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, they began to realize this radioactive stuff is really, really dangerous. People have been coming up with these quack medicine things ever since they invented money. But finally, in 1938, the federal government came along and said, enough is enough. If you're gonna make a medical claim, it's gotta be real, and they outlawed things like this. How much you want for it?
$900.
Okay. I'll go 400.
How about a 450?
I will go 4 1/4. It's a limited market. It's going to sit for a while.
All right, sold.
Sweet.
Awesome.
The nerdness in me just loves this thing, though. Okay, let's go do some paperwork.
All right. I'm gonna spend the $425 on helping my friend out. He's a little short on cash, and so we're gonna help a friend out.
Earlier, we got a call from a guy looking to sell a vintage cash register. So Chum and I are headed out to take a look.
This is it. Fully restored 1923 National Cash Register.
It doesn't tell you how to make change, though.
Well, you know, in those days, you actually had to know basic arithmetic.
I'm no mathlete, that's for sure.
I called the guys down from the pawn shop today to see if they wanted to buy my 1923 cash register. Like everybody in this economy, I need a little extra cash right now. I'd like to get $750 for it.
So where'd you get it?
Used to go to Reno all the time. They got a lot of antique stores. I saw this, and they originally priced at $2,000, and I paid $900 for it. This was early 90s.
That was a real good deal in the early 90s. These things were so hot you couldn't keep them on the shelves. The National Cash Register. It was actually started by a guy named Ritty, who was actually in the bar business. He got tired of bartenders stealing from him, so he actually called him the Ritty's Incorruptible Cashier.
Wow.
Before computerized cash registers and debit cards, everything was cash and carry. That made it really hard to know if your employee was stuffing cash in his pocket. So there was a big demand for machines like this.
So how does this thing work?
Oh, let me show you. Let's say you have a barber shop. Your haircut, it's like $8 and, what should we say, 56 cents. Here you go. Then you just go like this, pop it open, and you got room for your large bills. Remember, in the 20s, they didn't have the size of bills we had then. They had the larger size bills.
One thing I've always liked about these things is they were actually built with style back then. Instead of today, everything's just built for, you know, the cheapest way possible. Stuff from the 20s and 30s is always going to be collectible because stuff was just designed so well back then. They paid a lot of attention to detail and made sure things looked really cool. Tell me what you wanted to do with it, my man.
Well, obviously, you know, I'd like to sell it at a fair price.
Okay.
What do you think a fair price is?
I actually had it for a little bit of a loss at $750.
I'd offer you about $5, and the reason I'm gonna do that is because it's just not a hot item at the moment. Shoot me another number, man, because $750 is just a little too much for
How
me.
about 6 1/4?
How about $550?
I mean, I'm taking a little bit of a loss here, you know? Lowest I can go is 600. Pretty nice, and it works.
I can do that, man.
You got a deal?
All right.
All the collectibles market has really gone down now, and I feel that $600 was a fair price for today's market.
How much does this thing weigh?
I'm guessing about 150 pounds.
All right, we're gonna have somebody else come back and pick it up. Is that okay?
That's fine.
All right, awesome.
See you later.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. What do you have here?
Some 1920s Paris Metro train car seats. Not from Paris, Paris down the street.
Pretty cool. Yeah, that's our Paris down the street.
Yeah. I'm coming to the pawn shop today to hopefully sell a 1920s Paris Metro train car seat that I have. I've had it for about 2 years now, and I love unique antiques, but we're remodeling, and at this point, we could probably use a little extra money, so we thought, well, maybe somebody else would enjoy them.
Well, where did you get this?
I picked it up at a little antique shop, and I originally thought they were San Francisco trolley car seats. But then just looking at the back enamel panel, I found out they were actually from Paris, from the 20s.
Yeah, these do look like they're from the 1920s, but the Paris Metro had been around for a long time at that point. The underground transportations had kind of surfaced around 1845 when they first started talking about building them. And then in July 1900, the first line was created. It was known as Line 1, and it still runs today.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This looks like it would have been from the second class because there was first class and second class up until 1991.
Okay.
And the first class were nice, padded, comfortable seats, and these don't look padded to me.
More comfortable.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, I mean, they're not bad, but if you had a long ride, that's kind of like, it makes you sit.
Good posture.
Yeah, it makes you sit very proper.
Right.
Let's take a look at the back over here. Yeah, it has the number 2 on it, which lets you know that this was not the first class, it was second class. This is kind of the coolest part about it, I think.
I agree.
It's definitely got some wear and tear, but it's in pretty good condition overall for as old as it is. So, how much are you looking for?
I'd like to get $2,499 for it if I could.
How about 700?
Ooh, that was a little lower than I had hoped for. Any way you can go a little bit higher on that?
I could probably do 1,000, but it's a specialized sale, and this could take a long time to get rid of.
Could you do 1,300 by any chance?
How about 12?
If you could just do the 100 more, that would be great, if there's any room.
You know what? I don't see any point on passing on it over $100. That sounds like a deal.
Great, thank you.
1,300?
Yes.
Let's write it up.
All right. I was really happy to make the sale today. I didn't get asking price that I wanted for the train seats, but I really feel the $1,300 was a really fair price, and excited to have that and put it toward the home improvements and a trip to see the grandkids.
Hey, Rick, remember me? How's it going, man? How you doing, Rick? Oh, good, man. This is cool. Check out this buoy. Yeah, this is a 1920s English Channel buoy light. It's all solid brass.
I'm like super nerding out on this thing, dude.
It is a red buoy because it marks the red side of the channel. So when you're entering from sea, what sailors always said was red right returning from sea. So you want to pass the red buoy on your right side.
I'm looking to get $2,500 because I like to help my daughter out with the college.
Things like this were so important. It wasn't until after World War II that there was like a commercial radio guidance system for ships. Before that, I mean, when you navigated, if it was cloudy where you couldn't see the stars or the sun, you navigated by the seat of your pants, basically,
Right.
You could be to a point where I don't know if I'm 100 miles from the shore or I'm 2 miles from the shore. That's what these things did. This, foghorns and lighthouses, and that's how they navigated everything. These things saved, countless lives, countless amounts of money. We can open it up?
Yeah. We can open
cool.
this up. Yeah. So this here.
Basically, it's just a really simple torch. And this right here, I guess this is the limestone right here that it blasts against that gets red hot. It's a weird system. You take the acetylene gas, which burns really hot, you burn that against a piece of limestone, and limestone, when it gets really, really hot, suddenly starts blowing out all kinds of light. That's why they say in the old movies, you've heard the expression, in the limelight?
Yes, I have.
Because that's way back in the day. That's what they used to light the stages with because it was so bright. I mean, this thing is really, really cool, man. Let's get the thing back together.
Okay.
I absolutely love stuff like this. I mean, it's a great design, and it's an incredible shape. Remember, this thing was in the ocean for years and years. I've dealt with Gus before, and he's pretty tough on his prices sometimes, but I really like this, so I'm hoping he comes to terms. How much you want for it?
I'd like to get $2,500 for this piece.
And that's what you would like to get for it. And what would you take for it?
Well, make me an offer. Make me an offer I can't resist.
It's deeply cool. I'll give you $1,500 for it.
Can you do 22?
Can we compromise at like 1,700?
1850, we got a deal.
So 1,800?
1,800 it is.
All right, cool, man. This is great. I love this thing. Let's go do some paperwork.
Okay.
Just leave it here.
All right.
Be cool.
I'm happy with $1,800. I'm gonna give my daughter the whole $1,800 because I'm just such a good dad.
All right, I'm intrigued. What do we got here?
I have here Schoenhut's indoor golf game from the 1920s.
Oh, I'm probably the best golfer you ever met.
Really? What's your handicap?
I'm scratch.
Oof, that's pretty good.
Scratch mini golf.
He fell out of a tree on his head. That's his handicap.
I got the golf game from my grandmother. I inherited it when she passed away. I'd played with it once or twice before, but mainly I saw it on the wall or in its box. If I end up making a sale today, I'm gonna buy an actual set of golf clubs.
These are pretty cool.
Yeah, I know at one point Schoenhut was like the largest toy manufacturer in the world.
Yeah.
And they were the ones that actually invented indoor mini golf, where they have the big windmill you gotta shoot through. So when was it made?
1920s.
Okay. So are these all the pieces here?
Yeah. You got your golfers, some golf clubs, balls, some hazards, the tee, and, well, what's left of the original box.
Okay. Do you know how to play it, or?
Yeah, you take a club, you put it in their hand, you lock it in there, and then you pull a trigger, and swings and hits the little ball off the tee.
Makes sense.
They look like they've been played with a lot. They're not in horrible condition, but
yeah,
looks like a family got mini game nights out of this.
Looks pretty good for being 100 years old, about.
So what are you looking to do with it?
Looking to sell it.
What are you looking to get out of it?
Looking to get $500.
Okay, I mean, it's possible. As far as condition goes, obviously they're not pristine, but does that matter if they're 100 years old? I don't know. So I'm gonna have to have a buddy of mine come down and take a look at it. I'll tell you what, I'll give him a call. You wanna hang out, chum?
Yeah.
Don't break anything?
So you're a scratch indoor mini golf player, huh?
Yeah. I scratched it off my list. I don't play it anymore.
Steve, how's it going, man?
Hey, Corey, how you doing?
Appreciate you coming down.
How you doing?
Schoenhut's miniature golf set.
This is really cool. Schoenhut, we're really known for making kids' pianos. That's really kind of how they came out. And the technology for this was actually pulled from that. So it's cool. Take a look at it if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
So it looks like you've got The hazards, got the tee box, that's cool. And you got 3 golfers. Now, the set initially only came with 1 golfer, and then you would add on pieces. It was really the way where they continued to get you to buy things. This is really neat, that the scorecards here, and you have quite a few of them. This is something that, as soon as you got this home, you burned through this. You'd play as many rounds as you possibly could, and you'd use them all up, and they'd be gone, and then you'd have to make your own. What's really interesting here is this specific one. So you have a female golfer. Her name was Sissy Lofter. Women weren't golfing at the time, but when mini golf came out, women really got involved. Early on, you would get her, but she wasn't very popular. So she kind of started to disappear a little bit. So she's a little tougher to find than maybe some of the other golfers that they offered.
All right, what do they go for?
Well, I've seen these things, the pristine ones go upwards of like $3,000, $4,000. Complete sets, nice boxes, great paint on your golfers. It's got a lot of the extra parts and pieces, and it does have the scorecards. I think you'd have no problem getting $900 for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Steve, man, you're always the best. Appreciate you coming down.
Thanks. Sean,
All right.
see you later.
See you next
Good luck,
time.
man.
Thank you.
See you on the golf course.
Well, man, it doesn't happen very often, but you came in asking for $500. I think it's fair that I make $400 on it. It's gonna take me a year to sell it. So I'll give you the $500 you asked for.
You know what? I'm not gonna press my luck. 500 sounds great.
Deal. Chum will write you up over there.
All right.
I'll meet you at the counter over there. What's up, sissy?
I'm trying to sell my 1929 Remington portable typewriter. I've had it at least 53 years.
Oh, I have it. I've owned several portable typewriters over the years, but not one like this.
No?
Yeah, his typewriter was a little chisel and a hammer.
Oh, you mean like the Flintstones?
Yeah.
Okay, son.
I want to sell the typewriter because it's been stuck in a closet for over 50 years now, and I thought maybe somebody else could really appreciate it.
This is a 1923 to 1928 Remington Model 2 portable typewriter.
Okay.
This was the best portable typewriter you could buy.
Oh, that's good to know.
Okay, and it was also the lightest weight and came in the smallest case. Cool thing about this typewriter was it was portable. It was made for journalists. It was like the first laptop. They'd be on a train going from here to here and here.
Right.
It was a lot easier to take this than a full-size typewriter. And since it was portable, they did things like that to save space. You notice there's no 1 on the keyboard.
They use the L.
Use the I.
With the I?
Mm-hmm. For being 80 years old, this typewriter is in unbelievable condition. So you're looking to sell it?
Yeah, for the right price. I'm not just going to give it away.
Yeah, I understand.
It's got a lot of sentimental value. My parents bought it for me when I was a young teenager. I used to do my homework in junior high on it.
So how much did you want for it?
$5,000.
5,000? Are you talking pesos? You're talking dollars. I can't pay that type of price for it. There's no collectors that will pay that for any typewriter.
The thing is about the typewriter is it's probably pretty rare. But on the other hand, there's not a lot of people who collect portable typewriters from the 20s.
Okay.
I can give you like $100 for it.
No, I'll just take it home and put it back in the closet then.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I mean, it's just, I tell this people a lot. I mean, just because something's old doesn't mean it's worth a lot of money.
Right.
Okay? And you know what? It's just be really cool when you eventually get old enough to have grandkids to show it to them.
I have grandkids.
I was trying to compliment you.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Unfortunately, this was one of those cases where the sentimental value was a lot more than the actual value, and she was right to hold on to it. What are these? Well, I know what they are, but what are these?
Well, I got some old antique carousel horses I'd like to sell.
Cool.
All I can tell you, my good friend Dynamite Dick Durbin, they call him the tattooed terror from Tulsa. He told me it was a 2 for a nickel bicycle riding incomprehensible, bona fide, substantial fact without a doubt. You're not gonna find any finer wood-carved horses in the world today than what we got right here.
Were you in the carnival business or an auctioneer?
I worked in the auction business for a long time. I learned that from an old auctioneer. I'm bringing in antique carved wooden carousel horses. They're intricately carved. They need to be repainted, but they're just hot looking. I want $4,000 a piece, $8,000 for the pair.
Where did you get these?
A friend of mine passed away, and they were in an estate.
Okay.
He told me they were carved by a French carver in the 1920s, but he couldn't think of the name, and that was shortly before he passed away. So I have no history.
There's a great history with carousel horses. One of the things they used them for was military training. You know, they would mount a wooden horse on a merry-go-round-like thing, and they would practice shooting a spear, doing sword work, because you don't want to take a real expensive horse and put a guy who has no idea what he's doing on it.
Right, that's true.
By the late 1800s, the carousel had transformed into the carnival ride we know today. They eventually made their way to the US, where immigrants started setting them up at fairs and carnivals. There's two basic styles of carousel horses. Like this right here is more what you'd see on a European carousel. More prancing, dignified. And then you have the American Mustang style that looks like it's running through the desert of Nevada or something like that. The European ones can go for a lot of money. The American ones can be worth a fortune. Some carousel horses have gone for over $100,000. Oh. Do you mind if I take a closer look?
No, help yourself.
We have a new tail. Someone started painting this thing, quite frankly, very badly. This is where a kid would be holding on. This stuff would have been worn down. We got some weird stuff going on here. It looks like there's no hole for the pole to go up and down. It was never actually on a carousel, I can tell you that. It didn't go up and down.
No.
The more I look at this thing, the more problems I see with it. So what do you want to do with them?
I'd like to sell them, and I'm asking like $4,000 a piece for them.
This is my big problem with them, though. I'm damn near positive these are reproductions. I think they were probably made in the 80s, and they were probably sold as reproductions.
Well, can you make me an offer on them? You interested in them at all?
Unfortunately, these are new, and they're really great. Someone will buy them off you. They're just not my kind of merchandise.
Very good. That's
Thanks
what
for
we're
coming
gonna
in,
do.
man.
Thank you.
Carousel horses have always been collectible, and they really took off in the 1980s. But once something gets popular, along come the fakes. That's why I always look closely before I put my money on a horse.